to our Let's Play on Greenlands. This is episode 11, I believe. We're going to jump straight in because this has got potential to be another decently long episode. And I know we've had... Our last two have been around the half an hour mark, haven't they? Which I don't really like them to be that long, but it's just the way the recordings have gone. So in the last episode we bought our new field, which is this one here. As you'll see, it's got a crop in it. It's got a sugar beet crop that is in its final growth stage, and this is the type of thing I was talking about. This gets funny as well. This is the type of thing I was talking about as to why I was changing it back to 6-day seasons. Because things just weren't progressing as they should. So what we're going to do is just get all this turned in. Because it needs ploughing regardless. So if we get all this crop turned in, it won't show us yet. It might even give us some sort of fertilization state for it as well. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's getting done regardless. And we won't know, with this having precision farming on, we won't know until we get the scout and get some soil sampling done. Whether we'll get that done in this episode or not, I'm not sure, because that's the field that we need to plough, and that's the plough we've got to do it. So what I'll do, I'll get a time lapse straight on it, and we'll come back once it's done. Well, thank God that's finished with. So that's the whole field ploughed. Off camera, I did go and just go over there was bits that didn't have any sugar beet left in, but didn't look like they were ploughed either. So I just went and covered over them. I didn't think it would be overly important to put it on camera. There was just lots of random bits all over the field. So we'll take this back. And try closing these gates. There we go. I know that bit, it's going to be quite a long time lapse. It took us, I think, over 50 minutes all in all, so it is going to be a decent time lapse. Okay, seeing as, I mean, it is still early spring, it's going to be dark very soon. It's 5:45 now, so we'll come back in the morning. Right, we're back, and job number 1 is to go and hire a scout, which I think is going to set us back about £800 for what I remember. It's not cheap, but we should only need it the once this year. I don't think we'll have enough money to buy another field, even that small grass field. Yeah, we'll have a look, see what the contract situation is at the minute. If that one is still there in the next in day, we might do it. I know it's going to cost us quite a bit in potatoes to plant. However, just like I did on the Jack Pine series, you can buy the actual potatoes rather than the seed, which is cheaper. Right, let's get this scout. (867) to use once. We're going to have to start thinking about what we want to put in our fields as well. And even before we put anything in, I need to get a cultivator to do that one. We're not going to do that today, obviously, with the size of the time lapse for the ploughing of our second field. I don't think doing another one to cultivate that field would be the best thing to do. There we go. I'll have to put the mini-map back on for this one, just so we can see where we've been. I do like precision farming. As I say that, I've just noticed a bit that I haven't ploughed in. It was these little bits here that I went round and thought I'd got them all done, but obviously not. Yeah, precision farming. I'm not sure if we're getting that straight away or as an early mod for FS22. I can't remember what I read about it. Obviously, Seasons is coming, which it needed to be honest. I'd have been very surprised if we weren't getting that, because it just completely changes the game, and for the better in my opinion as well. Certainly since we've had Seasons, I haven't played without it. But I think anything like this, like Seasons, like precision farming, that just gives you more options. A slightly different way to play, and makes things more challenging as well. Anything like that I think's good for the game. One more and then I'll be able to send the samples off. Yep. Get it folded, lifted, then get them sent. I didn't say how many we had. What do we have, about 6 to 8, something like that? 9. So pH level isn't bad. And it looks like we did get some sort of fertilising state out of putting that sugar beet in. And fertilising is what's going to be our next job, I think. Can't remember how much we had left in this spreader, but hopefully it's enough to get that field done. I mean, at the minute we've got nearly 13,500, but as you've probably already noticed, there's constantly things that we need to either buy or hire. So I think that'll go down pretty rapidly. I want to as well, probably once we get the next contract, either look to get one of them little grass fields or look to change this tractor. I think getting another field would probably be the most sensible thing to do. I mean, those little grass fields will only get... Oh, that wasn't as bad as what I was initially thought. We'll only get a few bales off each time we cut it, but that's still a few thousand extra. So yeah, on the way back with the scout, I was mentioning about what we're going to put in here. We're gonna have to hire a baler and wrapper just like we did last year, because there's no way we're going to be able to afford one, to buy one. So it would seem sensible if we put something in the ground that we could get bales from, just so we could maximise its use, I suppose. But I don't really want to do oats again. I always really enjoy doing potatoes or beet, but beet, for what we've got at the minute, the equipment's just too expensive. And potatoes I'm doing on jack pine, so I don't really want to be doing the same on both. And I've had absolutely no choice really but to do that on jack pine, just because that's the equipment I'll be able to afford. Canola might be a decent one. I know we're not going to get the straw off it, but you always make decent money out of canola. Or even possibly, because this is something I never do, maybe sunflowers, because we're not going to be restricted about what header we get, because we're going to be renting a header anyway. So if we put both in the same field, then I don't think it's really going to matter. We'll have a look before we come to do it. I'll have a look, see what it's going to wait up as. I'm sure sunflowers you have to wait a bit longer, don't you? The temperature has to be about 10 degrees, something like that, similar to corn. So that'll be a factor we have to think about. I know in the game that I'm running at the minute that I'm not recording on Greenwich, I planted a load of fields with soybeans, and every single field was ruined just because when it became time to harvest, well, basically it never got warm enough, so they didn't grow properly. And I've done everything as you normally would, planted within the windows, and they just didn't grow. I thought we might struggle for fertiliser here, but it's lasting a long time. It will be because we've turned that sugar beet in, isn't it? That's why. I think by the time we get this done, that's probably going to be it. The ploughing was probably something like the first 10 minutes. Once it's been time lapsed, and we're already in the 16th minute now for this one. So yeah, I think that's going to be about enough. And I'm probably going to hop straight on to Jack Pine and get an episode of that recorded as well, because I think this is, I mean, it might not come out that way, but I think this is something like the third Greenlands video I've recorded in a row. Like I said, it might not come out like it might still come out the every other video, but it's been a while since I recorded a Jack Pine one. I just had that many stocked up that I didn't need to record for over a week on Jack Pine. Just go over that bit on the right hand side there. I'll go over again because I'm not sure that I actually had the spreader switched on. That's 2 bits, isn't it? Yeah, I mustn't have. Right. Next time we will be where we need to cultivate field number 1. And we might do that potato sowing as our second contract for the spring. So, thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you again soon.